form of the form of the self-doubt is just a mistake. The form of the self-doubt is just a mistake. The self-doubt is just a mistake. The form of the self-doubt doesn't matter. It's unimportant.
Doesn't matter what the story is that you're
Your self-doubt
telling yourself about what your self-doubt is.
It doesn't. Your self-doubt is going to take. It can take all kinds of forms, but the form it takes doesn't matter. It's just a mistake. The only thing that's important about all that self-doubt is just you recognize it as a mistake.
That's right.
It's just a mistake. Okay, that's the only thing that's important to recognize about my self-doubt.
Is that it's a mistake.
That's it.
Doubting myself is a mistake. The thing that I'm doubting myself about is not important.
Okay. The thing you're doubting yourself about is not important. The only thing that's important is recognizing that your self-doubt is a mistake.
Another thing that I want to add to that just keeps leaping out to me from that, when he says self-doubt implies that trust has been placed in an illusory self, which is the ego, right? Mm-hmm. So it's funny that doubt, self-doubt is trust in the ego.
That's right.
So whenever I'm trusting my ego is when I'm doubting.
Yeah, when I'm putting my trust in my ego.
I can always tell because I'm doubting.
Yes, instead of God.
Right.
Whenever I'm putting my trust in my own separate self.
Right.
When I'm putting my trust in me to figure it out for myself or to figure it out for them.
Right.
I am putting my trust in my ego.
That my illusory self.
My illusory self. And I will always feel self-doubt when I'm trusting in myself alone instead of placing my trust in God or higher mind.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And then the only thing I need to know about that is, I made a mistake.
I made a mistake.
Oh, I made a mistake. I was putting my trust in my own, my ego in that situation instead of my trust in God. And so that's why I was shamefully feeling inadequate or guiltily embarrassed or feeling vulnerable and weak. It was because I was putting my trust in my ego. I was putting my trust in my own separate, alone self, me. My answers, my plan. Instead of, hey God, what should I do? What does this mean? You take it.
But see, that's what I'm saying. You're being asked to presuppose there is a God. That's what I'm saying. It always comes back to that. Is my lack of faith.
That's right.
That's exactly it always comes back to my lack of faith.
So self-doubt always comes down to lack of faith. That there is that there is a God and that you were created by that God.
And that God is capable of handling whatever it is that you are making a mistake about. Because that's all you're doing.
Yes, exactly. Okay, so lack of faith that there is a God who created you and has the capacity to solve any problem that you made. Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah. So this would be a challenge for those who are secret atheists.
That's right.
Okay.
Which is what I found out I was.
Yes.
A secret agent and a secret atheist. Down,
atheist man. Secret atheist man.
I'm a secret atheist.
Oh.
We meet me in the corner.
Yeah. All by yourself.
All by yourself, so we can talk about separation and doubt the healing. I'm a secret atheist.
Come over here to my separate corner where I'll be waiting for you all by myself.
That's right.
Where I'll figure out your problem for you all by myself.
All by myself. In total doubt while I'm doing it. Don't forget. I'm not certain about it now.
All right. That sounds really like it promises a lot of success.
Okay, we took the last paragraph.
Wow.
So just read the last one for me.
So the mistake of self-doubt is always some form of concern with the self to the exclusion of the patient or the other person.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow.
Self-doubt is really egotistical. It's arrogant. I'm all concerned about me. That's why I'm full of self-doubt.
That's deep.
I'm feeling all weak and vulnerable and inadequate because I'm concerned about me to the exclusion of you. All right. Now, it is a failure to self-doubt is a failure to recognize the other person as a part of the self, yourself, and thus represents a confusion in identity. Conflict about what you are has entered your mind, and which means you have become deceived about yourself. And you are deceived about yourself because you have denied the source of your creation. Back to that. If you are offering only healing, then you can't doubt. If you really want the problem solved, you cannot doubt. If you are certain what the problem is, you cannot doubt. Doubt, in other words, is the result of conflicting wishes. So, be sure of what you want, and doubt becomes impossible.
All right.
Oh, I'm so glad you got that.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
All right.
Take
So,
it.
all right, here we go. What I heard is the mistake is always some form of me being concerned about myself to the exclusion of you.
Right.
Or any other person.
Yes.
So if I am concerned about me to the exclusion of you,
Yes.
then I fail to recognize you're a part of me.
Right. Yeah.
And so I'm confused about my identity because I think my identity is this separate self.
Right.
And the Course is saying my identity is this self.
Right.
That,
Yes.
you know what I'm saying?
The shared self.
The shared self. And so I'm confused about what I
Yeah.
am. Then I heard him say that means that if I'm only concerned with myself to the exclusion of you or anybody else, that I have conflict about what I am.
Yes.
And that conflict has entered my mind because I'm fooling myself about myself if I think I'm only a separate self.
Right.
Then I heard him say, I'm deceived about myself because I've denied that I was created by God. I've denied that I was created in oneness.
Yes.
I've denied that I've been created in love. And then he goes on to say that if I'm really offering only love, if I'm really offering only healing, that's all I'm offering, then I can't doubt. So I'm only doubting if I'm not clear that that's all I'm offering.
Right.
Then he told me if I really want the problem solved, I cannot doubt. Because if I really want the problem solved, I'm not doubting. I really want the problem solved. You know, that's deep. I can't doubt if I really want it. And I'm really giving it to the one who cannot fail.
Right.
Then he says, if you are certain, if I'm certain about what the problem is, I cannot doubt. So not doubting is being certain about what the problem is. And then he says, okay, what is doubt? Well, doubt is the result of conflicting wishes. So I could tell myself, if I'm certain about what the problem is, I cannot have conflicting wishes.
Right.
If I really want the problem solved, I can't have conflicting wishes about that. If I really, so I'm using the substitution as doubt, if I really offer only healing, I cannot really have conflict. And so he's letting me know over and over again, if I've made a decision, I can't be in conflict. And that doubt is the result of me having conflicting wishes.
Yes.
You know, my not being certain who I'm really giving it to, my doubting how it's going to turn out, my thinking the healing hasn't happened because the symptoms still continue, my not being certain that I want healing in the situation. So he ends it with the thing to me that sums up the whole thing. I need to be sure of what I want. And if I'm sure of what I want, if I'm certain of what I want, then it's impossible for me to doubt the healing, to doubt God, to doubt. Be sure of what you want. Be sure of what you want. Be sure of what you want.
Yes.
You know, and then I won't doubt. I won't doubt you if I'm sure of what I want.
Right.
So we finished that section. What would you like to add about that paragraph?
It makes me think about. It makes me think about how when I first started teaching that I would have an attack of self-doubt regularly before I would teach.
Yes.
And I remember early on taking that doubt to my higher mind, and my higher mind reminding me through the course that self-doubt was arrogance. It was me being concerned about me.
You being adequate. Your ego.
Right. To the exclusion of the people who were there in my class. And I let the course tell me, look, that is selfishness. If you're being concerned about how you look. But if you are certain that your only purpose for going in there is to give the truth that you've received, then you won't have any self-doubt. In other words, when I go in there to teach or to go in there to give healing, when my concern is about just giving love for real, giving truth for real, and not about me, how I look, am I adequate, then I don't have any self-doubt, and I was able to then teach a public class for all these years. Remember, public speaking is the number one fear. Mm-hmm. Most people would rather die than speak publicly. Mm-hmm. And so it accomplished for me a miracle of being able to speak in front of people without passing out. Mm-hmm. Because all of a sudden my concern was not about me anymore. It was about, can I really give the love? And when I was certain that my only purpose was to give the truth and give the love and not be concerned about myself, then I was able to do it without fear. I was able to give the gift for real.
That I can give it. I love that. Continued concern is attack. Being willing to relinquish all concern about the result, to doubt that I'm being helpful to the people that I teach, because sometimes it looks like they're not getting it, and I'm not getting. That's my lack of trust.
Yes.
And then he also says in the earlier part of this section, the sections on healing, that the person will use what you've shared with them when they see it as a blessing and not a curse.
Exactly.
So for some reason they're hearing it in a way that tells them that they should delay in using what you've just said, which means they're not seeing it as a blessing yet.
That's right.
And so I can't hang around until they see it as a blessing.
Exactly. And your job is to trust that when they don't see it as a curse and they see it as a blessing, they will accept it and they'll use it. And that's what you have to trust if you're going to give a gift truly.
And so you can make that very practical in your day-to-day reality by realizing that's true in any interaction, that you are sharing the truth of what you really want to share as a healing or loving with anyone.
Exactly.
They might not accept it when you say it.
Most probably.
That's right. But when they finally see what you said correctly as a blessing, then they will use it. And your job is to not doubt that the Holy Spirit, the higher power in that person, will make that determination with them.
Especially when your human eyes see the continuance of the symptoms.
That's right.
And that's a big piece for teachers and healers. When you've offered yourself for healing and you've given it to the higher mind to heal for you, it is done. It is accomplished. And there will be continuing symptoms until that person goes, oh, that's a blessing. Yes, I say yes to that. So yes, there will be continuing symptoms.
So don't doubt that.
So don't doubt that the healing's been accepted.
No, don't doubt the healing's been accepted. So that was great. We're going to complete here at this time. I really got a lot out of that. I needed to hear that. Thank you, Anna.
Me too.
I have many classes on video online on my website, earlpurdy.com. And also on YouTube. If you just Google Earl Purdy, that's all you need to do. Overlook some of the stuff that might come up, but the true spiritual stuff.
Oh, how intriguing.
It's right. Don't doubt the healing.
Now I have to go to your website. That's right.
That might have been where some of my symptoms were still continuing, so don't doubt the healing. But anyway, go to my website, earlpurdy.com, and there I do all my classes on video, and then I put them on my website and on YouTube. So you can really study this material, the Course in Miracles, with me, and also the Way of Mastery and A Course of Love. And also I'm available for one-on-one healing sessions called clarity sessions that can be done over Skype, over the phone, or if you're local, in person, where we take stuff like what we just studied and I apply it to the situation and show you how to apply it to the situation that you think you're going through, that would give you a new perception of it and possibly healing. And for those of you who are open-minded to a more intuitive approach, I also can use my knowledge of astrology and numerology, which is not the way that you probably think it would be used. Right. Okay, those of you who are open-minded and don't judge. Okay, so I just want you to know there is a healing that I would love to be a means for from the Holy Spirit through me to you.
Yes, beautiful. Yeah, and I also have all of my Course in Miracles classes on YouTube for free, and I also do Course in Miracles readings where I'm just reading to beautiful music.
Awesome.
And that series is called the Lullaby Course. It's just meditative, healing readings, also on YouTube. You just put in my name, Anna Kujawa, you'll see my Course in Miracles classes. And I am a professional counselor, and I do something called Miracle Psychotherapeutic sessions, where same thing that Raj does. We take these ideas, apply them to any area of your life where you could use a healing or a transformation. We give it to the loving right mind and see what happens. You can find more information about my holistic counseling practice on annakujawa.com. That's my website. But all my classes and videos are on YouTube.
Same thing.
AnnaKujawa.com. ANNAKUJAWA.com.
And the same thing. On my website, you'll see what my weekly classes are, and also any events that I'm speaking at. So we appreciate this. We appreciate you. We have no confusion in our identity at this moment. We recognize you're part of us and we're part of you. We have a shared identity. And we'd like to say, let peace extend from our mind to yours.